For billions of years, the universe simply was. Matter existed, energy flowed, stars were born in fire, and they died in silence. On a small, wet planet in a quiet corner of a galaxy, a new complexity emerged: life. It moved, it hunted, it fled, it reproduced. It did all of this without thinking about it. Life was a magnificent, complex algorithm running in the dark, a symphony played to an empty theater. Then, after an eternity of this beautiful, mindless clockwork, something impossible happened. A new kind of existence. A mind looked out at the world, and for the first time, it realized it was looking. The universe had finally opened its eyes. Where does a thought begin? Is it in the light or in the eye that sees it? Is it in the threat or the jolt of fear that follows? The story of thought doesn't start with a brain. It starts with a single cell, sensing its world. Is this patch of water warmer? Is this chemical gradient food? Or is it poison? This is the root of awareness, response, a simple binary dance. Move toward, move away. For over 1 billion years, this was enough. To get to thought, we first needed a messenger, the neuron, a simple switch. At first, just a few, wired together. A reflex, touch hot thing, pull away, no thought required. But as bodies grew more complex, so did the wiring. Nerves bundled together, ganglia, tiny decentralized command centers. An insect doesn't think about flying, it flies. Its body knows the steps. This is instinct, a kind of frozen thought, baked into a creature's DNA by millions of years of trial and error. It is the wisdom of the dead guiding the living. Before thought, there was instinct. But in some creatures, the wiring became denser. These bundles of nerves grew, clustering together at the front of the body, where the sensors were: eyes, ears, noses. This cluster became a centralized hub, a processor, the first true brain. Now, the animal didn't just react to the world, it built a model of it. It could remember the past. This is where the predator hunted. It could anticipate the future. This is where the fruit will grow. This is perception, memory, anticipation, the raw ingredients of thought. For millions of years, this new complex awareness was still a slave to the present, to the now, the next meal, the next threat. A wolf doesn't gaze at the moon and ponder its place in the cosmos. It sees a light source that helps it hunt. Its mind is a map for staying alive. But what happens when the animal has enough food, when it's safe? What happens when the survival machine is allowed to idle? It becomes curious. We see it in crows, solving puzzles not for food, but just to see. We see it in dolphins, playing with rings of bubbles. The mind, for a moment, is free from the burden of survival. It's playing, it's exploring, it's asking, what if? These are the first seeds, the first glimmers, the universe practicing, rehearsing, getting ready for the main event. So, where did we enter the picture? Our ancestors, the early hominids, were not the strongest or the fastest. They were vulnerable. But they had this new tool, this overdeveloped, energy-hungry, 3-pound universe of folded matter, the human brain. For a long, long time, they were just another clever ape. They made tools, they hunted in groups, they had complex social structures, they had memories. They likely felt fear and joy and love. But did they think? Or were they still running on a sophisticated, instinctive program? We will never know the precise second. There was no thunderclap, no divine spark handed down. It was almost certainly a slow, blurry, gradual dawn. But we can search for the first footprints of the thinking mind. We can ask, when did our ancestors stop just being and start knowing they were? Imagine this, an early human, Homo erectus perhaps. She crouches by a still pool of water. She's thirsty. She leans down to drink, and she sees a face. She's seen this face before, on others, but this one moves when she moves. It stops when she stops. What is that moment like? Not just recognition, that is me, but realization. I am a me. The realization that you are a thing in the world, separate from everything else, an individual, a self, a temporary observer looking out from inside a body. This is the mirror, the birth of the I. We find other footprints. Around 100,000 years ago, something new appears in the archaeological record. Our ancestors, Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens, begin deliberately to bury their dead. Think about this. Every other animal dies, and life moves on. The body is an object. But to bury something, that requires a new kind of thought. It requires you to understand what is and what was. It means you can hold a concept of a person after they are gone. It implies grief, loss, but more than that, it implies a question. Where did they go? To ask where did they go, you must first understand I am here. You are projecting your own self-awareness onto another and realizing it has stopped. This is abstract thought. This is the beginning of sorrow, of memory, and perhaps of hope. And then the final footprint, the most human one of all. We go deep into the earth, into the dark, silent wombs of caves. And 40,000 years ago, we find them. Hands stenciled on the wall. A hand pressed against the rock. Pigment blown from the mouth. Again and again, a signature echoing from the deep past. This is not a map. This is not a survival guide. This is a message. I was here. Nearby, paintings of bison, of deer, of lions. Not just depictions, but stories. The hunt, the spirit of the animal, an attempt to capture the essence of the world, to take the chaos of reality and pin it to a wall. This is the mind turning inward and then projecting itself back out. A thought that knew it was a thought. That's when we became human. After thought, there was wonder. The spark was lit, but a spark in one mind is a lonely thing. To truly change the planet, it had to spread. The I had to find a way to connect to other eyes. It needed a new operating system. It needed language. Not just grunts and warning calls. Other animals have that. But a system capable of communicating things that are not here. Things in the past. Remember the lion at the watering hole yesterday? Things in the future. What if we build a trap tomorrow? And most importantly, things that don't exist at all. What happens after we die? With language, thought was no longer trapped inside a single skull. It became a network, a shared consciousness. Humans could now plan, coordinate, and build things far beyond the power of any single individual. But we didn't just share plans, we shared ideas. We shared stories. We looked up at the lights in the sky and wove tales of gods and heroes and monsters. We created myths to explain the thunder and rituals to welcome the spring. We invented rules for how to live together, justice, morality, purpose. Were these things real? In a way, no. You cannot touch justice. You cannot weigh honor. But in another, more important way, they became the most real things in our world. This shared fiction is what allowed thousands and then millions of strangers to cooperate. This is the birth of meaning. Consciousness was no longer just a tool for survival. It was now a tool for creation. We began to build a new world, layered on top of the physical one. A world of culture, of art, of shared beliefs. The mind learned not only to survive, but to dream. here we are, tens of thousands of years later, living in towers of glass and steel, carrying devices in our pockets that connect us to the collective knowledge of our entire species. We have split the atom, we have walked on the moon, we have decoded the very script of life that wrote us into existence. And it all started with that first, flickering, fragile thought. Think about what you are right now. You are a collection of atoms, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, forged in the hearts of dying stars, billions of years ago. A cluster of matter gathered together for a short time on a spinning planet. And this cluster of atoms is aware. This pile of stardust can think, it can feel, it can wonder. A small part of the universe has become self-aware, and it is looking back out at the rest, asking questions. What is this place? How did I get here? And the most human question of all, why am I here? The universe has always existed, but only recently did it begin to know it exists.